Good morning, students. We back to the lesson, The Triumph of Surgery. Till yesterday, we learned that at the time of the lunch, it became a ceremonial occasion for all the staff members of the hospital, along with the doctor. And every day, they were enjoying the drinks, 2 glasses of wine, as well as several during the meals also. Now, after this, what happens? We could hardly believe it when the brandy came to put a final age, final borders on the Turkish constitution. Constitution here means the rules and regulations which we have already formed, especially for treating Turkey in the hospital. Now we were unable to believe this matter. हमें यकीन नहीं हो पा रहा था, hardly believe कर रहे थे. When the brandy came, wine के अलावा अब तो brandy भी आने लगी और ये आखिरी पर्याय as a final age, final type of end of the decision on Turkey's rules and regulations, especially to provide him a lot of brandy and make his health very proper one. But we were unable to believe that Mrs. Pomperi will do all these things in a systematic way. For a few nights, the fine spirit was rolled around. For a few nights, the fine spirit means here, that is the brandy which was brought. Instead of giving it to the Turkey, they started drinking it. And it was rolled around. It was rolled around means they were enjoying it for every night. They inhaled and reverently drunk. बार बार उसको जाकर पिया करते रहते हैं. They were days of the deep content. अचानक से Mr. Harriet याद करते हैं that those days which they have enjoyed, they were quite with the deep type of satisfaction. बहुत satisfaction था उनका, खा पीकर मजे कर रहे थे. Starting well with the extra egg in the morning, they used to begin their breakfast early in the morning with a beautiful beginning. Improved the level of breakfast, wines, brandy, and etc. And sustained by the midday wine, and took care of continuity of drinking the wine at the midday time also, and finishing in a very luxurious manner, बड़े आलीशान तरीके से, round the fire with the brandy. और दिन की आखिरी एंडिंग कैसे होती है उनकी, वो बोन फायर के पास बैठते हैं. They all together sit together and have a drink of brandy. Now, they were enjoying all these things without giving it to the Turkey. But what was Mrs. Pomperi thinking on the other hand? Day by day there is a change because of all these things provided to my dear dog or pet dog, Turkey. Now, after that, writer says, it was a temptation to keep Turkey on as a permanent guest. It was a temptation. It was a forceful type of when I was expecting temptation. I was forced to keep Turkey on as a permanent guest. ऐसे लगने लग गया था कि ये सब कुछ आलीशान तरीके से सब मिल रहा है, तो ट्रिकी को हम परमानेंटली गेस्ट की तरह रख लेते हैं ताकि ये सब आता रहेगा, एंजॉय करते रहेंगे और इस तरह से ट्रिकी की ट्रीटमेंट चलती रहेगी. But on the other hand, author says, I knew Mrs. Pomperi was suffering. Pomperi को बहुत बुरे हालात से गुजरना पड़ रहा है. And after a fortnight, after a period of 15 days, felt compelled to phone. I was forced to make a call to Mrs. Pomperi and tell her, और उन्हें ये बता दिया जाए, that the little dog had recovered. अब आपका dog पूरी तरह से क्योर हो चुका है. He is recovered completely and was eagerly waiting for taking him back to home. That is called as awaiting collection. Awaiting collection means the dog is waiting eagerly for going back to his home. Now, the moment I made a call, what happened after that? Within minutes, about 30 feet of gleaming black metal drew up outside the surgery. Hospital के बाहर 30 feet long car with a black color with a special metal came rushing at my hospital. The chauffeur opened the door that is the driver who was driving the car, is here called as a chauffeur. He opened the door and I could just make out. To make out means to see, observe, or to get the indication mark. Okay, I could just understand that the figure of Mrs. Pumphrey almost lost in the interior. Mrs. Pumphrey was sitting inside the car and she is completely lost to find out वो खो गई है कि कब मैं अपने डॉग को देखूंगी. And now her hands were tightly clasped. ऐसे उन्होंने अपने हाथ ऐसे clasp करके रखे. My God, might be my Tricky very well now. He will be very nice in condition. ऐसे clasping करना. In front of her, her lips trembled. उनके होठ थोड़े trembling हो रहे थे. कुछ बताना चाह रहे थे. What was she trying to? Oh, Mr. Harriet, do tell me the truth. आप मुझे सच बताइएगा. Is he really better now? Is my Tricky very well? Has he recovered properly? On which Mr. Harriet replied, yes, he's fine. बहुत अच्छे हो गया है तुम्हारा डॉक्टर. He is completely recovered. And there is no need for you to get out of the car also. आपको कार से बाहर आने की जरूरत नहीं है. आपका डॉग आप तक आ जाएगा. I shall go and fetch him. I shall go and find out. Search him. Okay? And after moving ahead, I walked through the house into the garden. मैं अपने घर के उस हिस्से से, हॉस्पिटल भी था, घर भी था, वहां से चलता हुआ सीधा गार्डन गया. I went up to the garden. There was a pack, a mass, means a group of dogs was hurtling round and round the lawn. Lawn means garden. They were moving, circulating round and round inside the garden. And in their midst, amongst them, उनके बीचों बीच, उनके middle में, उनके center में, ears flapping, moving the ears, tail waving, पूंछ को wave करना, wag करना, and was a little golden figure of Tricky. Here the writer is giving a change in the color of the hair. In the earlier, silver color was mentioned. Here now he is mentioning a change of a color of the hair with the golden figure of Tricky. In 2 weeks, he had been transformed into a lith. Within 2 weeks period only, 2 हफ्ते के period में, 15 दिन के अंदर, मोटा सा dog, एकदम दुबला पतला सा बन चुका है. Lith means a very thin one. Hard muscled, muscles were very strong one. Such kind of animal was Tricky. He was keeping up well with the pack. He was completely involved with all the group of his dogs, stretching out in the great bounds, stretching in a very long type of a size, and able to put his legs very far from each other. Means he was able to jump very higher and land in a proper way. At the time of jumping, bounding or bouncing, his chest almost brushing the ground. उसका chest का हिस्सा लगभग जमीन को पहुंच जाता है, जमीन तक पहुंच जाता है. इतनी अच्छे से वो छलांग मार पाता है. I carried him back along the passage to the front of the house. I collected the dog in my arms and started walking towards the house. And from garden to house, the moment he reached up to the gate, the chauffeur was still holding the car door open. Chauffeur ने अभी भी दरवाजा पकड़ के रखा है, खोल के. And when Tricky saw his, और जैसे ही Tricky ने अपने mistress को देखा, अपनी owner को देखा, you might be knowing what might have happened. He took off from my arms. अपने हाथों से जिसको मैंने पकड़ के रखा था, वहां से उसने सीधा छलांग लगाई. He took a bounce. He took a great height and started flying through the air and went straight in the car. कार तक उसने छलांग मार दी. In a tremendous leap, tremendous jump. Tremendous means in a huge manner. And sailed into sailing. That's why I said he was flying through the air, sailing through the air into Mrs. Pumphrey's lap. Your rectification of error, into, not in Mrs. Pumphrey's lap. It should be into Mrs. Pumphrey's lap. Why? गोदी में आना, गोदी तक पहुंचना, बहुत फर्क है. So there is a difference of using the prepositions in a proper way. So into, inside particular area. And here Mrs. Pomfrey was waiting with her hand stretched, and now Tricky is coming very faster on her body. She gave a startle, and the moment she saw her dog jumping so high, she was shockingly announcing or pronouncing the words, "Oh, what a great change! इतना बड़ा बदलाव! मेरा Tricky तो देखो कितना मस्त हो गया है! How beautifully he has cured up, or he has got completely recovered." And then had to defend herself as he swam. To swim, that is to move in the air faster. Here it is to fly in the air, swam, okay, over her. और जैसे वो कूद पड़ता है अपने मालकिन पर, she is unable to defend. How shall I try to avoid this dog now, or my pet dog, Tricky? After that, what happened? The dog started licking the face of mistress. Dog ने जैसे उनके चेहरे को lick करना start किया, and barking. Barking here is not shouting at someone. Here to make such a sound which shows that you are loving something very much. Now, after that, what happens? At the end of the lesson, we'll come to know one more thing. What is it? During the excitement, I held the chauffer to bring out the beds. By that time, whatever was going on, at that time, I thought that let me help the chauffer to bring out the material which was brought for the dog. Beds लाना है, toys, cushions, coats, and bags. None of which had been used actually. ये सब घर से भेजा गया था, लेकिन इनमें से कोई चीज यूज नहीं की गई थी, जो एक्चुअली उसको ट्रिकी को संभालने के लिए यूज करने के लिए भेजी गई थी घर से. As the car moved away, जैसे गाड़ी स्टार्ट हुई और धीरे धीरे आगे बढ़ रही थी, at that time it was moving very slowly. Mrs. Pomfrey, at the end of the lesson, leaned out of the window to bend out of the window. विंडो से ऐसे झांक कर देखते हुए उनकी आंखों से आंसू निकल आए. Tears shone in her eyes. Shone is the past tense of shine. Okay? The tears were coming out, they were shining, and her lips trembled. और उनके होठों से लड़खड़ाते हुए एक शब्द बाहर आए. What did she say? Oh, Mr. Harriet. Mr. Harriet, आपका मैं उपकार कैसे चुकाऊं? How can I ever thank you? What kind of words shall I use for thanking you? Especially for making a great change in my Tricky. This is a triumph of surgery. And what is the last point here? She said that it is, or this change or the transformation of fat dog who was not able to do anything, was lolling, and now he is recovered, and therefore the title has been used very systematically at the end of the lesson. This is a triumph of surgery. The treatment which you have given to my dog, a surgery. Actually, it was not a real surgery. Surgery की नहीं थी lesson में. But why it is given as a title surgery? Because she was told that the treatment has to be given to the dog, and if required, something like a surgery will take place. And therefore, the title is very suitable. That is, it's a great achievement of surgery. I hope today's session has been at the end of your lesson. Here we end the lesson. But remember one thing very properly, all of you. There are some of the words given downstairs. Lesson is written by James Harriet, the full name of the writer, who is the surgeon, veterinarian surgeon, a person who treats the animals and even is able to do the surgery of the creatures. He himself is a doctor in the lesson. Here the name is James Harriet. There are some of the words which you need to write in your notebook because they will be asked in the board exam, such as sausage, a thing, or a finely minced meat. It's a kind of a material which is completely cut into the small pieces, okay, and into long cylindrical cases and divided into small lengths by twisting or tying. उनको डिवाइड किया जाता है छोटे छोटे टुकड़ों में, 2-3 बांध के ऐसे, या तो फिर उनको बांध के या ट्विस्ट करके एक मरोड़ के एक साथ में उसका एक गड्ढा बनाया जाता है. It's a finely मिंस्ड मीट, पूरी तरह से पिसा हुआ, फिर उसको सिलेंड्रिकल फॉर्म में गोल करके ऐसे उसका गोला बनाकर उसको खिलाने के लिए काम में आ सकता है. That's why it is called as a sausage. Second is rumen, a watery discharge from a mucous membrane, especially of the nose or eyes. आंखों से या नाक से जो अंदर का मेम्ब्रेन होता है उसमें से जब पानी गलता है या पानी डिस्चार्ज होता है, such a position is called as a rumen. डॉग के नाक के ऊपर देखा ही होगा आपने कि थोड़ा सा पानी की बूंदे रहते हैं, सिक्रेट होता है. That process is also said to be rumen. Listless, lacking energy and enthusiasm. एनर्जी बची नहीं रहती है और उत्साह भी मर जाता है. लंबैगो, इट्स अ मस्कुलर पेन, शरीर के मसल्स में एक पेन होता है इन द लोअर पार्ट ऑफ द बैक, पीछे लंबर रीजन में. राइम, प्रिस्क्राइब्ड कोर्स ऑफ एक्सरसाइज एंड डाइट. Your rhyme means not to rule here. It is a prescribed, mention किया गया कोर्स या एक्सरसाइज या उसकी डाइटिंग क्या होनी चाहिए. Then distraught, extremely worried. Distraught means बहुत ज्यादा परेशान होना. Surgery, a place where a doctor or a dentist or a veterinary surgeon treats the patient. Treats the patient by surgery or by giving the medicines or by giving some exercises. Such process is also called as surgery. So therefore I am emphasizing it because the title is having the word surgery. Then scrimmage, rough or confused struggle. Rough type का या confused ऐसा कोई मेहनत आप करते हो, बहुत बैल की तरह काम करना जैसे बोलते हैं, या confused होकर आप कुछ कर रहे हो, struggle कर रहे हो कुछ करने के लिए. That process is called as scrimmage. Convulsing is recovering from an illness, बीमारी से recover होना. And lithe can be thin or very flexible. Okay, it's called as lithe. There are some questions, think about it and then talk about the following matters. They are also the questions and you need to answer them and write them in your notebook compulsorily. Now there is a suggested reading. You can read the lines. I just end the session here only after this one. Rikki Tikki Tavi by Rudyard Kipling. Then Dog Stories by James Herriot. A Zoo in My Luggage by George Durrell. A Tiger Comes to Town by R. K. Narayan. All these are the books. If you wish, if you have the time, please read them so that you can compare the stories with each other. There is a beautiful poem written by Rabindranath Tagore, Indian author, on the concept of time. आज हमारे लिए time बहुत जरूरी है. Let us understand what is it. The butterfly counts not months but the moments and has time enough. Butterfly को पता है उसकी जिंदगी में time बहुत कम है, इसलिए वो महीनों को नहीं गिनती है कि कितने महीने वो जिंदा रहेगी, क्योंकि उसे पता है कि वो कुछ मोमेंट की ही जिंदगी जीने वाली है. टाइम इज अ वेल्थ ऑफ चेंज. टाइम ऐसी प्रॉपर्टी, ऐसा खजाना है जो आपको बदलने के लिए काफी होता है. चेंज करना बहुत जरूरी है टाइम टू टाइम. बट द क्लॉक इन इट्स पैराडी मैक्स इट मेयर चेंज एंड नो वेल्थ. लेकिन क्लॉक जो होता है वो अपने ही धुन में गोल गोल घूमते रहता है, उसमें कोई बदलाव नहीं आने वाला है. उसका काम है घूमते रहना, बस वो हमारा टाइम गिनते रहता है, वो अपना खुद का टाइम गिनता नहीं है. बस उसमें वो घूमने के बाद सिर्फ एक बदलाव लाता है कि इतने से इतने बज चुके हैं. एंड नो वेल्थ, वो कोई खजाना नहीं है, वो सिर्फ एक मटेरियल है. घड़ी एक मटेरियल है जो चलती रहती है, लेकिन उसे उस बात से कोई मतलब नहीं कि वक्त निकल रहा है, उसको सिर्फ वक्त बताना होता है. What a beautiful concept Rabindranath Tagore used to write. Let your life lightly dance on the edges of time. So beautiful. What is the writer trying to say here? आप अपनी जिंदगी को हल्के से नाचने दीजिए. कहां पर? टाइम के किनारे पर, वक्त के किनारे पर उसको नाचते रहने दीजिए ताकि आप सप्रेस ना हो जाए. like the dew on the tip of a leaf. किसकी तरह नाचने दीजिए अपनी जिंदगी को टाइम के बॉर्डर पर, बिल्कुल उस बूंद की तरह जो सवेरे सवेरे किसी पेड़ के पत्ते के किनारे पर होती है, जो थोड़ी देर में यस गायब हो जाती है। ऐसी हमारी जिंदगी है जो वक्त के साथ खत्म हो जाने वाली है। सो आई होप यू लव द पोएम आल्सो, एंड here I would like to end the session for today. Clear? If any doubts are there, we will concern. We will try to get the conversation on this matter. If at all there is any kind of a doubt period arranged for you. Have a nice day, all of you. Thank you very much.